I followed him to the grave of some dead friend outside Jerusalem. The man's sisters were grieving.
Lord, only you.
Where have you laid him? Take away the stone.
The stone? Lord, there will be a stench. He's been in the grave for 4 days.
Did I not tell you that if you would believe, you would see the glory of God? I thank you, Father.
His Father?
Because you have heard me. I know that you always hear me. But I have said this for all the people here, so they will believe that you sent me. Lazarus, come! Unbind him. Let him go.
My dear friends, welcome to Sur Sangam Reflection from Jaipur. We are at the last phase of this Lenten season, and we are reminded that we are not only suffering with Jesus, but we are also going to rise with Jesus. Therefore, the feast of the resurrection is the feast of rejoicing. Why? Because resurrection gives meaning to our own life. Today we have an incident where we see Jesus who loves Lazarus, Martha and Mary, and there is a thing that happens suddenly. Namely, Lazarus dies. In other words, they had not expected him to die. And Mary and Martha are terribly upset. Jesus is close to them, but he is not near them. He reaches there only after 3 days. Even Jesus as a human being feels extremely bad. He begins to weep. And that is his human side. Now St. John tells us another side of Jesus, namely his divine side. That is where Jesus tells them about the resurrection. Now, Jesus goes and brings Lazarus back to life. But Lazarus dies again. Hence, that is not resurrection. He is not living today. But that is a symbol of the resurrection, a sign of resurrection. What is resurrection? Resurrection is exactly what Jesus tells us elsewhere. Unless the grain of wheat dies, it cannot come back again into a new life. What happens? A grain of wheat is put into the soil. It gets rotten. It dies. But then after some time, it comes out with a new life with many grains. That is exactly the meaning of life that is given to our life too. Nobody wants to die. We all want to cling to life. But that is the meaning of life. In other words, it tells us that life does not end with our mortal life. But we have a spiritual life which we are going to get when we rise again. And that is shown to us by the resurrection of Jesus himself. He suffers, he dies, then he rises again. And that is why St. John gives us the hope that life does not end over here. We are going to have a glorious life after our death if we live a wonderful life now. प्यारे भाई और बहनों, आज जैसे हम इस चालीसे के अंतिम समय पर हैं, हमें दिलासा दिया जाता है कि हमारा जो मृत्यु है वो अंत नहीं है। मृत्यु के बाद में अगर हम प्रभु पर भरोसा रखते हैं, हम अगर एक अच्छा जीवन जीते हैं तो हम भी प्रभु के उस पुनरुत्थान में एक होंगे। जैसे हमें बताया गया है कि किस प्रकार ये गेहूं का दाना मरकर दोबारा प्रस्फुटित हो जाता है, उसी प्रकार हमारा जीवन भी यहाँ अंत नहीं होता, बल्कि हम नए जीवन में प्रवेश करते हैं और अनंत काल तक हम जिएंगे। वो क्या है, कैसा है, हम नहीं जानते, लेकिन भरोसा जरूर है, क्योंकि यह भरोसा, यह दिलासा हमें इसलिए दिया जाता है क्योंकि हमने प्रभु के जीवन में ही देखा है। और इस प्रकार प्रभु जब मार्था से बात करता है तो मार्था कहती है कि प्रभु आप अगर हमारे साथ होते तो मेरा भाई नहीं मरता। तो प्रभु कहता है मैं ही जीवन हूं, मैं ही पुनरुत्थान हूं, जो मुझ में भरोसा रखता है वह कभी नहीं मरेगा। इसका अर्थ यह है कि इस संसार में हम जरूर मरेंगे, लेकिन जब हम प्रभु पर विश्वास रखेंगे तो अनंत जीवन के लिए हमारा जीवन तैयार होगा और वहां पर हम हमेशा के लिए जिएंगे। इसी भरोसे के साथ हम यह त्योहार, पास्का का त्योहार बनाएंगे। आइए हम सब मिलकर पास्का के लिए तैयार होंगे, ताकि एक दिन जब हम मरेंगे तो हम निरुत्साह होकर नहीं, बल्कि उत्साह के साथ, प्रेम के साथ, भरोसे के साथ प्रभु में एक हो जाएंगे। वही हमारा अंतिम घर है, वही हमारा लक्ष्य है। थैंक यू एंड गॉड ब्लेस यू।